Welcome to all my fantasy footballers out there. It's week 6 waiver wire recap time. My name is Josh from the Legacy League. I'm representing Chilltown, NC. The fantasy football season is quickly moving towards the halfway point, and the time is now to make your move. The waiver wire, it can be confusing and hard to really sift through. So I'm here to help you out. I'm going to help you find the right player at the right time and make the right decision. Now, if you want the help, continue watching this video. What I've got for you today is I have my top 3 quarterback waiver wire pickups for this week. Now, these are in no particular order, and they're just my picks. You may have other guys you like. It's just my opinion. I think these guys can be good weekly fill-ins for a bye week, or guys that you can plug in your roster and play every single week. Now, the way I put these together is these players had to be in less than 50% of ESPN rostered leagues. All right, getting right into it. The first quarterback we're going to talk about is Matthew Stafford from the Detroit Lions. Now, this week's matchup is going to be a tough one. The Packers just bottled up the Dallas Cowboys and made them look like the Miami Dolphins. So it's not going to be an easy matchup, but Stafford has 9 touchdowns to just 2 interceptions this season. He's also actually averaging about 13 yards per game on the ground. Now, against the blitz this year, which to me the Packers are a team that likes to bring pressure, Matthew Stafford has a quarterback rating of 118.7 with 4 touchdowns. Like I said, the Packers like to bring the heat. And this is a quarterback that should be rostered in all leagues. And while he may not go for a 350 and 4 touchdowns, I think it's an easy 250 and 2 scores for Matthew Stafford this week. Now, next up on the list, everybody's favorite, Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, in my league, he's averaging around 19 fantasy points a contest. This is really more about the way the offense is structured and played than really what Jimmy G has done up to this point. Anybody that watched the game against the Cleveland Browns can see this team likes to run the football. And with the way they could run it and some emerging wide receiver and tight end targets, the chances are that Jimmy G is going to start flexing some of that appeal that he had when he was in New England. The play action they're going to be able to run with the running backs like Matt Breida, Tevin Coleman, Rasheed Mostert. The openings are going to come. He's got a great weapon in George Kittle. I really like Deebo Samuel and Dante Pettis. I think those are good options on the wide receiver position, and that's going to continue to get better as the season goes. This may not be a guy you start necessarily every week, but he's definitely a solid fill-in, and I think he's a guy that you can stash, and maybe at the back half of the season, it's somebody you're going to want to have on your roster. Most certainly needs to be on a roster. Now, the last choice is somebody that probably should have been on a roster already, but for whatever reason, he's gotten a lot of hate. He hasn't played well this year. We're going to go with Kirk Cousins. Now, some people call him Kirk Cousins. Some people call him Second Cousins. We're going to just call him Kirk. Now, the start of the season was not great. But what we saw this past week is what I think you're going to see going forward. It was much more balanced. Minnesota wanted to go run heavy, which I fully support because you can't trust Kirk Cousins to throw the ball 45 to 50 times a game. But you get him around 25 to 30, and now you've got something. Look for Dalvin Cook's going to get his touches, 20 to 30 touches a game. Kirk Cousins is going to get 25 to 30 throws a game, and he's going to look to make those throws efficient and go down the field. You have 2 great weapons down the field in Thielen and Stephon Diggs. They've got good tight ends, Rudolph, Irv Smith. They've got other options out there, and he finally started to use those guys. So they're just too many weapons to ignore. So I would look for Kirk Cousins. If he's still available in your league, go get him today. He needs to be on your pickup that's going to clear tomorrow, and he needs to be on that list. He is too valuable, and the weapons he has are too plentiful to leave him off. Now, you may not love him, you may not like him, but from a fantasy perspective, he fits your roster. If you have an opening, by golly, please do. If Cam Newton's your backup, or if Josh Allen is your backup, or Kyle Allen's your backup, go put Kirk Cousins on your roster. It's a much better play than those other options. It's just my opinion. You don't have to believe it or agree with it, but it's just my opinion. Alright, so that's my 3 options that I'm going to give you for the waiver wire this week. When you're on the waiver wire in week 6, you're just hoping to find a gem that can help you move up in the standings. These guys should fill that void and help you make the playoffs and hopefully fight for a championship. Now, fantasy is it's a kind of a crazy game. Things change week to week. Injuries happen. So you've got to be flexible. But these 3 guys moving forward, as long as they're healthy, are going to be viable options and they're going to help your roster. Now, if you have other guys that you're interested in, maybe there's somebody I didn't cover that you think somebody should be be rostered in leagues, let me know. Leave it in a comment down below. Like and subscribe to this channel. There will be a running back and a wide receiver waiver wire video coming up today as well. I don't want you to miss anything. Check me out on my Twitter. You'll find that link down below. I appreciate you watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Later.